Welcome! We are here to discuss the Digital Gravity Protocol.
You see, the government contracting market is a chaotic, lightweight thing. It just floats on conjecture, on whispers, on hope. We, however, are not concerned with what floats. We're concerned with what falls. Our work is to ground strategy in the absolute physics of compliance, pulling the heavy, undeniable truth right to the surface. So our analysis today is going to be very structured. We'll start with what we call the gravity well. From there, we'll examine the poison chalices. Then we'll understand the mechanics of control, we'll dissect the syntax of failure, and we'll wrap it all up with the elder's proverb.
Think of our protocol as a kind of digital gravity well. It doesn't guess, it calculates the mass of requirements, and it pulls actionable signals from all that distracting noise. So let's begin by identifying the most immediate dangers. Now, let's examine the most elegant of traps. Opportunities that are built not to be won, but to make sure others lose. We call them the poisoned chalices. So what is a poisoned chalice? Well, it's a solicitation that looks open for business, but it's got a hidden, non-negotiable requirement that only one company, the pre-selected incumbent, can possibly meet. It's a trap for the unwary, the hopeful, frankly, the naive. Take a look at this requirement from a Health Resources and Services Administration brief. That's HRSA. On the surface, it seems totally reasonable, right? Just a matter of being ready. But here's the catch. The government itself cannot give you this access.
And there it is. That's the trap in plain sight. You see, our analysis isn't a suggestion, it's a diagnosis. This requirement is a complete showstopper. To bid on this without a pre-existing deal with the incumbent, the United Network for Organ Sharing, or UNOS, well, you're chasing a ghost. One must almost pity those who waste their resources on this.
Okay, so we've seen the deliberate traps. Now let's turn to the unbendable laws of the system. These aren't just strategic things to consider. They are the fundamental mechanics of control. Let me be perfectly clear. The compliance gateways we find are not suggestions, they're not guidelines. They are iron bars. You either fit through them or you don't, and there is no negotiation. Consider this insight from an Indian Health Service requirement. This isn't your standard one-time check when you submit your offer. No. This is a persistent state of being, what we call a binary gateway. It demands you're eligible not just today, but for the entire life of the contract. You have to pass through 3 distinct gates. First, at the time of your offer. Second, at the time of the award. And third, and this is the one that gets people, continuously, without any interruption during performance. Any change, your company gets acquired, an owner passes away, it can trigger an immediate termination. It is an absolute state. All right, let's shift focus now from the grand laws to the microscopic, because it is often not the grand strategic error that fells an enterprise, but the simple, trivial mistake. This is the syntax of failure. You have to remember this. The bureaucratic universe is automated. It doesn't care about your elegant technical solution or your noble intentions. It cares only for your syntax. A misplaced comma can hold more weight than a decade of past performance. For example, the Federal Bureau of Prisons at Danbury. A bid can be perfect in every single way, but if you fail to complete Block 17A or 30 on the SF 1449 form, it's discarded. Gone. A simple, fatal error of omission. Or think about the U.S. Coast Guard. You might have the most secure systems in the world, but if you fail to include a single sentence confirming your staff has completed their annual privacy training, your entire proposal is rated unacceptable. The syntax is wrong, therefore the proposal fails. This just shows the need for absolute precision. The Indian Health Service requires the exact official name of a tribal entity as it's listed by the Bureau of Indian Affairs, the BIA. Using a common, well-known abbreviation is a fatal error. The system is just checking for a precise match, and it will find none. We've examined the traps, the laws, and the trivialities that govern this space. So let's conclude with a piece of wisdom that transcends all of the specifics. So the question then is this. How does one move forward in a universe that's governed by such unforgiving laws, where risk is absolute and failure is silent and swift? The elders, they provide the answer. You do not test the depth of a river with both feet. You proceed with caution, with measurement, and with an understanding of the currents that are running just beneath the surface. You use gravity to your advantage. That is all.